What's up guys, Mike here, and I know you saw Michael Jordan's name. I know you saw Steph Curry's name, and I know you came in here with a pitchfork ready to go. Well, just put it down for a second, please. I have some things to talk about. At the end of the video, you'll understand. Now, I've had ideas for videos before, and I thought, oh, that would be cool, and so then I made them. But this video has been stuck in my mind for weeks. Now, the whole point of this video is comparisons. There are two reasons to compare players and teams. One is good and the other is bad. The first one, the good one, is that it's fun. I make videos such as comparing the all-time Lakers to the all-time Celtics because it's fun. We don't have the answers, but the debate is enjoyable to us, which is what basketball is supposed to be for fans like you and me. Fun. Now, the second reason to compare players, though, is the wrong kind of reason. And that's comparing players with an actual motive, such as player A was better than player B, or player B could never play in a different era. When the second type of comparisons begin, nothing gets accomplished and people just get angry. The Hall of Fame does not rank players for a reason. Basketball is supposed to be enjoyed. Why can't we just enjoy great players and cheer for greatness? And that's a key word here. Greatness. We'll come back to that in a second. So with that said, I want to look at some arguments that people make against today's great players and get to the reason why people feel the need to compare them to older ones and just put them down in general. I'm going to use Steph Curry for this video because right now he's the guy everyone is talking about. The guy everyone compares to past greats. A few years ago, this video would have been about LeBron when people said he would never win a ring. A few years before that, it would be about Kobe when people said he couldn't win without Shaq. And if I could somehow make YouTube videos in 1990, it would have been about Michael Jordan, because there was even a time when the Bulls failed to get past the Pistons that people said Michael Jordan would never win a championship because he was a ball hog. So do you see a pattern here? A reason why people feel the need to compare players of this era to players of different eras. The reason is that people love to hate on greatness in the moment. The fact that people love to hate on greatness in the moment is the entire reason I'm making this video. I just don't understand why we can't enjoy greatness and even cheer for it. Isn't that the whole point of why we love basketball? The game's greatest moments? We still talk about Magic's Showtime Lakers, Bird's Celtics, Jordan's Bulls, because they gave us greatness. And we have no problem talking about past greatness. It's current greatness that people have a problem with. Just look at the three players I just named. At one time in his career, people gave Magic the nickname Tragic Johnson because he failed in the clutch. Isaiah Thomas said that Bird would be just another player if he was black. And Bird had already won 3 MVPs at that time. And like I said before, Jordan was called a ball hog who would never win a championship. Every current star, every player who shows us greatness is met with hate. Which brings us to Steph Curry, the player who at this very moment is the definition of greatness. Now, before you hate on this statement, let's take ourselves out of this moment and look at this objectively without Steph Curry's name. So we have a basketball player who in college was a national phenomenon, a player who almost willed a very small program to the Final Four. From there, he was drafted into the NBA and has gotten tremendously better each season through sheer hard work and determination. Last season, he won the NBA's MVP and his team won the championship. This season, he has already won another MVP and his team won 73 games, setting the wins record for the entire history of the NBA. But still, we hear this.
And I don't say this dismissively, but if you traded him and Curry, how much difference would we see?
And this?
Think about when MJ played, Shaq. I mean, those guys really played against top-notch competition. More superstars, I think, on more teams than it is in our league today.
And this.
72-win Bull team versus this Warriors team. How would it play out in the 7-game series?
Bulls in 4.
Bulls in 4?
Yeah.
They don't get one off you.
No.
And if I'm being flat out honest, it is ridiculous. We should be enjoying Stephen Curry's accomplishments, not putting them down every chance we get. It seems like every time a player has a great moment, not just Steph Curry. People are jumping in to say that moment wasn't as good as a moment from another era, which is just so dumb to me. We should be enjoying basketball. And if you still don't agree with my opinion that we shouldn't compare players to other eras and put them down every chance we get, then let's look at some of the arguments that people make whenever Steph Curry's name comes up. Number 1. You are a bandwagon fan if you root for Steph. The fact that someone is rooting for Steph Curry does not make them a bandwagon fan. It just means that they love watching basketball being played at the highest level. I am a fan of Steph Curry. I am also a fan of Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Chris Paul, and every other star player who makes the game of basketball more fun to watch. Argument number 2. Steph Curry needs picks to score. If this is your argument, I don't think you understand what 5-on-5 basketball is. For starters, the pick is one of the biggest parts of basketball. Chris Paul uses picks all the time to score and get assists. No one's like, Chris Paul sucks because he needs a pick and roll to make plays. The Warriors use a lot of picks to get the most out of their talent. It's a style of play that uses ball movement and good passing. It's great fundamental basketball, and it's the style of play their team should use. Just like the ISO ball that Michael Jordan used to succeed was a great style of play for his team because it worked and got wins. The NBA isn't a one-on-one competition, it's a team game. And for people who try to downplay just how important Steph Curry is to the Warriors offense, with Curry on the floor this season, the Warriors outscored their opponents by 18.3 points per game per 100 possessions. With Curry on the bench, they were outscored by 3.7 points per 100 possessions. The Warriors offense is built around Steph Curry. He's the catalyst to their success. Number 3, Steph Curry would not be this good if he played in the 90s. First of all, I think comparing different eras is just pointless. With a league full of different players with different play styles, with different rules, there's no possible way we could accurately say which player would do well in which era. But people do it anyway, so let's look at the main argument that people use when they say Steph could not play in different eras. Hand checking was legal. This is the end-all be-all for older players who say that the current players could not play in their generation. LeBron is great. Kobe is great, but they get to play with no hand checking. If Jordan played in today's game, he'd average 50 points a game. This is the perfect example of a one-sided argument. Yes, hand checking was legal, and that made the game harder for perimeter players. However, in these older eras, NBA teams were also not allowed to use illegal defenses. Now, what was an illegal defense? Up until the 2002 season, the NBA required teams to play man-to-man defense. If a team was caught playing a zone, the refs would blow the whistle and make that team play man-to-man, which means that all the complex defenses you see today, with players helping off of their man in anticipation that they'll get beat, were not allowed. You were allowed to double team, but you had to leave your man wide open if you wanted to do this. So yes, while Curry cannot be hand-checked, he also has to play against defensive schemes full of zone designed to stop him. Now, would Michael Jordan be able to adjust to today's complex defenses? Yes, just like Steph Curry would be able to adjust to the hand check rule. Great players find a way to be great. And so I think I've said enough on this topic, and I hope you get the main point. It's not that Michael Jordan was better than Steph, or Steph is better than Michael Jordan. The point I'm trying to make is that comparisons are dumb. They just lead to arguments, they just lead to hate, and I'm not trying to preach or anything, but isn't the game of basketball something we should love to watch and love to talk about? When it comes down to it, I love to watch Steph Curry. I love to watch Kawhi Leonard. I love to watch Russell Westbrook and Durant. I love to watch great players play basketball because it's fun. And I don't think comparing these stars to players of different eras makes the game any more fun. If anything, it takes some enjoyment out of it. And so thank you for watching, guys. My loyal subscribers, I love ya. If you haven't subscribed already, I make NBA videos like this. I do a bunch of basketball history, what if scenarios, whole lot going on here. Would love to have you. And as always, guys, have an awesome day, and cue those hate comments and the music.
Wow.